You don't get what you deserve in life. You get what you're willing to ask for. Most people want more out of life, more respect, more support, more freedom. But they never say it out loud. They wait. They hold back. They think asking will make them look weak, needy, or selfish. But here's the truth. If you don't ask, nothing changes. No one can know what you truly need unless you speak. That's why learning to ask, clearly, calmly, and confidently, is one of the most powerful life skills you can build. This audiobook shows you how to break the fear, stop overthinking, and ask for exactly what you want. You'll learn how the mind reacts to rejection, hesitation, and the need for approval, and how to reprogram those patterns. You'll stop living in silence and start producing real results. The art of asking, how to get whatever you want, isn't about luck. It's about training your mind to speak, act, and move with purpose. Your life will only rise as high as your ability to ask. Chapter 1. Train your mind to believe you deserve more. One of the biggest changes a person can make is training the mind to believe they deserve more. That's where everything begins. It doesn't start with money. It doesn't start with education. It doesn't even start with talent. It starts with what you believe about yourself. If deep down you think you don't deserve better, you'll never ask for better, or you won't go after it in a real way. You'll sit quietly, you'll wait, you'll accept less, and you'll tell yourself it's fine, even when it isn't. And that becomes your life, not because it had to be, but because you never changed what you believed you were worth. So the first thing to work on is not your job, not your relationships, not your schedule. It's your thinking. Your thinking shapes everything else. The person who gets what they want from life isn't lucky. They're not special. They've just trained their mind to believe they can ask for what they want, and that they have every reason to get it. Most people stay stuck because they never feel like they're enough. They live like they don't count. They speak softly. They shrink when it's time to speak up. They hide their needs. They apologize for taking up space. That's not how you move your life forward. You've got to stop living like you're less. Stop thinking like you're unworthy. Life doesn't reward people for playing small. It rewards the bold. But before you can be bold with others, you have to be bold in your own mind. You have to stand up in your head and say, I deserve a better life, and I'm going to start asking for it. So, how do you do that? You start by paying attention to the way you talk to yourself. Listen to your inner voice. Are you constantly putting yourself down? Do you talk yourself out of opportunities? Do you say things like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready? That kind of thinking keeps you broke, stuck, and silent. You have to replace those thoughts with strength. Look in the mirror and say, I'm capable. I matter. I have something to offer. This isn't about arrogance. It's about truth. You were born with potential, but potential means nothing if you never believe in it. You have to respect yourself enough to ask for more. Ask for more time. Ask for more opportunity. Ask for better treatment. Ask for what's right, what's fair, and what's yours. But you can't do that if deep down you think you're not worth it. If you grew up being told to stay quiet, to not expect much, to be grateful for scraps, then that thinking can start to feel normal. But it's not healthy, it's not right, and it's not how you create a great life. You have to unlearn that kind of thinking. You have to say, that may have been my past, but it will not shape my future. Start taking small actions every day to build your self-worth. Speak up when something doesn't feel right. Don't stay silent just to keep the peace. If you want more, say it. Don't lower your voice when you talk about your goals. Don't act like you're asking for too much when all you want is what's fair. Remind yourself, what you tolerate becomes your standard, so raise your standard. Some people say, well, I don't want to be a burden. But asking is not a burden. Asking is a right, and if you're giving value, if you're showing up, if you're working hard, then you owe it to yourself to speak up when you need something. Asking is not weakness, it's responsibility. Responsible people ask. They don't wait around. They don't expect others to read their mind. They step up and speak clearly. But before you speak to the world, speak to yourself. Every morning, look yourself in the eye and say, I'm not here to live small. I'm here to grow. I'm here to contribute. I'm here to win. That kind of daily thinking changes how you walk into the room. It changes how you shake someone's hand. It changes how you speak in a meeting, because the person who believes they deserve more shows up differently. You don't get what you want by waiting around. You get what you want by asking, by stepping up, and by believing, truly believing, that you are just as worthy as anyone else. People who believe they deserve more don't beg for crumbs. They go after the full meal, not because they're greedy, but because they know their value. Now, this doesn't happen in one day. You've been thinking a certain way for years. You've been telling yourself quiet lies like, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have what it takes. That kind of thinking becomes a habit, and you can't break a habit unless you replace it. So every time you catch yourself doubting your worth, stop. Replace it with a stronger thought. I may not be perfect, but I'm growing. I may not know everything, but I'm learning. I may not have all the answers, but I'm taking action. That is how you train your mind. You do it every day. You push back against your own doubts. You feed your strength, not your fear. You build your confidence like a muscle. And over time, your inner voice becomes stronger. You stop talking yourself out of opportunities. You stop settling. You stop waiting, and you start asking. When you believe you deserve more, everything changes. You carry yourself differently. You make stronger decisions. You don't chase people who don't respect you. You don't stay in places that drain you. And you don't accept a life that doesn't match your vision. But again, it all starts in the mind. That's where the battle is. And if you win that battle, you start winning everywhere else. Life is waiting to give you more. But first, you have to ask. And before you ask, you have to believe. Not halfway, not sometimes, fully, consistently, every day. So start now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Start now by changing the way you see yourself. Because when you believe you deserve more, the way you ask changes. And when you ask with strength, people notice, life notices, and things begin to move. You are not here to live average. You're here to grow. You're here to speak. You're here to ask. And if you believe it deep enough, you'll find a way to get it. That's the art of asking, and it begins in your mind. Train it, strengthen it, and watch how your life begins to shift. Chapter 2. Ask without thinking. You're bothering other people. Most people hold back from asking because, deep down, they believe they're a burden. They believe they're bothering someone. And that belief doesn't just live in the mind, it lives in the body. You feel it when your chest tightens before you speak. You feel it when your voice gets small. You feel it when you hesitate, pull back, and say nothing at all. That hesitation isn't about politeness. It's fear. It's the fear of rejection, the fear of being told you're too much, the fear of being seen as needy. So instead of asking, you stay quiet, and in that silence, your needs get ignored, your dreams get delayed, your potential stays hidden. This happens to more people than you think. Good people, smart people, people with great ideas, with good hearts, with something real to offer. Yet they live with the false belief that speaking up is selfish, that asking makes them weak, that needing something from others means they're not strong. But the truth is, asking takes strength. It takes strength to say, I need support. It takes strength to say, I don't understand. It takes strength to say, I deserve a chance. Weakness stays quiet. Strength speaks when it matters. You have to reprogram the way you see asking. You have to break the mental link between asking and being a problem. Because asking is not a problem. It's a form of action. It's a form of growth. And in many cases, it's the exact thing that moves your life forward. No one gets through life alone. Everyone depends on others at some point. The people who move forward the fastest aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who know how to ask for what they need. If you were raised in an environment where asking was punished, ignored, or treated like a nuisance, that pattern can stay with you. You might not even notice it at first. You just find yourself avoiding eye contact, staying quiet in meetings, hesitating before sending a message, telling yourself it's not the right time. But that isn't timing. That's conditioning, and it can be changed. Start by looking at the facts. Look around at people who are getting what they want. They aren't waiting for someone to offer. They are asking. They're putting themselves out there. They're sending the message, making the call, raising the hand. And are they bothering people? No. They're doing what strong people do. They make their needs clear. People are not mind readers. If you don't speak up, they won't know what you want. They won't know what you need. And they won't guess. They'll move on, and you'll stay stuck. That's not fair to you, and it isn't healthy. Relationships, personal or professional, depend on clear communication. And asking is part of that. The moment you stop seeing asking as a disruption and start seeing it as a responsibility, your confidence changes. You carry yourself differently. You stop apologizing for needing something. You stop shrinking your requests. You speak like a person who respects their own needs. Understand this. Most people are focused on their own lives, their own worries, their own stress. They're not sitting around waiting to judge your question. And even if someone is bothered by your ask, that says more about them than it does about you. You don't exist to make everyone comfortable. You exist to grow, to create, to contribute. And growth requires support. Growth requires questions. Growth requires the willingness to ask. You don't need to beg. You don't need to explain yourself endlessly. You need to ask with clarity and calm. Can you help me with this? Is this possible? Would you be open to this idea? These are simple, direct questions. They are not demands. They are not signs of weakness. They are signs of someone who knows where they're going and what they need to get there. You don't need to be loud to be strong. You just need to be honest. Speak your truth. Be direct. Be respectful. But most importantly, be clear. Don't expect others to guess. Don't drop hints. Don't hope someone notices. That's not strategy. That's passiveness. And passiveness builds resentment. If you want to stop feeling overlooked, you need to stop overlooking your own voice. It's not rude to ask. It's not selfish. It's healthy. People who ask set boundaries. People who ask get direction. People who ask get results. They get answers. And sometimes the answer is no, and that's okay. A no is better than silence. A no gives you clarity. A no gives you feedback. A no tells you where to go next. But silence? Silence keeps you guessing. Silence wastes time. And the longer you stay silent, the longer you stay stuck. There's power in asking because it forces you to define what you want. Before you can ask clearly, you have to think clearly. You have to pause and say, what am I really trying to get here? That process builds self-awareness. It sharpens your thinking. And when you're clear, you can speak without guilt. If someone tells you you're asking for too much, that's not your burden to carry. Everyone has a right to ask. Everyone has a right to try. What you ask for reflects your standards. Don't lower them to please people who don't understand your vision. If someone says no, thank them and move on. But don't stop asking. One of the reasons people don't grow is because they limit themselves to what feels safe. Asking doesn't feel safe. It puts you in a vulnerable position. It makes you visible. It opens the door to judgment. And that's where all the good things live, on the other side of discomfort. Think about the opportunities you missed simply because you were afraid to ask. The help you didn't get. The answers you never received. The doors that stayed closed, not because they were locked, but because you never knocked. Train yourself to ask even when it feels uncomfortable. The more you do it, the less scary it becomes. You start to feel lighter, stronger, more in control of your life. And over time, your brain learns a new pattern. It stops seeing asking as danger and starts seeing it as growth. That's how habits are built, repetition. You build the asking habit one conversation at a time, one message at a time, one honest moment at a time. And before long, it becomes who you are. You become someone who doesn't wait, someone who doesn't freeze, someone who moves forward. Here's the mindset shift. Asking is not bothering. Asking is building. It's how you build clarity. It's how you build trust. It's how you build strength. Don't silence yourself just to keep others comfortable. That isn't strength. That's surrender. Speak, ask, move forward. And if someone is truly bothered by your voice, they were never your supporter to begin with. Life changes for the people who are willing to speak up. It doesn't matter where you started. It doesn't matter how long you've been quiet. What matters is what you decide to do now. You can stay quiet and stay stuck. Or you can start asking and start growing. The choice is yours. Just remember this. Your voice matters. Your needs matter. Your growth matters. And asking is how it all begins. So ask without guilt. Ask without fear. Ask because your future depends on it. Chapter 3. Speak your needs even when you feel nervous. When you feel nervous, your body tries to protect you by holding you back. Your hands may sweat. Your chest may tighten. Your voice may shake. That's a natural response to what your mind interprets as danger. But the truth is, speaking your needs is not dangerous. It only feels uncomfortable because your mind wants to avoid judgment or rejection. That discomfort is not a signal to stay silent. It's a signal to move through it. Nervousness is a feeling, not a stop sign. You can feel it and still speak. Most people stay quiet because they were never taught how to handle that nervous feeling. Somewhere along the way, they learned that silence keeps the peace. They learned that expressing needs creates awkwardness. They learned that asking for something might upset someone. So they hold everything inside. Over time, that silence becomes a habit. You feel something. You need something. But instead of speaking, you overthink. You freeze. You tell yourself, it's not the right time, or maybe I don't really need this. Meanwhile, frustration builds inside you. You feel stuck. You feel unseen. Not because others don't care, but because you never spoke. If you never say what you need, you train the world to ignore it. People respond to what they can see and hear. When you stay silent, they assume everything is fine. They move forward, and you stay behind. Not because your needs didn't matter, but because they were never expressed. This is how people become invisible. This is how they get overlooked. It's not about talent or intelligence. It's about the courage to speak. Even when there's fear in your chest and tension in your body, your needs are still real, and they deserve to be expressed. It doesn't matter how small the request seems. What matters is that you say it. Because every time you speak your needs, you build self-respect. You send your mind a message. My voice matters. My needs count. That's how confidence is built, one uncomfortable moment at a time. There is no shortcut. The only way to grow beyond fear is to go through it. Don't wait for nervousness to disappear. It may not. What you need to build is the ability to speak while the fear is still there. Nervousness is part of the process. It means you care. It means you're human. That's okay. Just don't let it silence you. Start small. Practice speaking your needs in safe situations. Ask for space. Ask for time. Ask for clarity. Use simple, clear words. You don't need a perfect speech. You need honesty. Speak calmly. Speak slowly if you have to, but speak. You will shake the first time. That's normal. Say it anyway. You will feel unsure. That's expected. Say it anyway. The more you practice, the stronger your voice becomes. Not just your outer voice, but your inner one. The voice that says, I can do this. The voice that reminds you, I don't have to suffer in silence. Over time, nervousness loses its power. It may still show up, but it no longer controls you. That's when you stop holding back. That's when life begins to respond to you differently. Many people believe that speaking their needs will make others think less of them. But often, the opposite happens. When you express yourself honestly, people begin to respect you more. They see you as clear. They see you as grounded. They see you as confident. They may not always agree with you. They may not always say yes, but they understand where you stand. That clarity builds trust. It strengthens relationships. It cleans up communication, and it gives you peace. Holding your needs inside does not protect you. It slowly erodes your peace. It creates resentment. It builds confusion. It leads to stress. Many people blame others for not understanding them, when the real issue is unspoken needs. Speak early. Speak honestly. Speak clearly. That's how you protect your inner peace. Some people worry they'll look weak if they speak up. But having needs doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. Everyone has needs. The difference is how they handle them. Strong people take responsibility for their needs. They don't dump them on others. They don't demand. They don't manipulate. They simply speak. They say what's true for them, and they listen in return. That is real communication. You also have to accept that not every need will be met. That's life. But unmet needs are better than unspoken ones, because when you speak, you give life a chance to respond. You open a door. You step forward. That alone is power. Even if you don't get what you ask for, you grow stronger simply by speaking. If you were raised in an environment where expressing your needs led to conflict or punishment, it will take time to rewire that pattern, but it can be done. Start by reminding yourself daily, my voice has value, my emotions matter, my truth deserves space. And every time you feel nervous, instead of backing down, pause, breathe, and speak. That's how you break the pattern. That's how you move forward. The people who get their needs met are not always the loudest. They're not always the most educated. They're not always the most experienced. But they are the clearest. They know how to say what they want without guilt. They know how to ask without apology. They know how to express themselves without fear. That clarity comes from practice. That strength comes from choosing to speak again and again until it feels normal. Your voice is your power. Use it. Don't hide behind fear. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't expect others to guess. Speak your needs, even when your hands shake. Speak when your heart beats fast. Speak when you feel unsure. Because the more you speak, the more power you reclaim. Life doesn't change because you wait. It changes because you act. And speaking is an act of self-respect. Speak your needs because they matter. Speak your needs because they are real. Speak your needs because silence does not bring peace. Clarity does. And clarity begins with a voice that chooses to rise, even in the face of fear. That voice is yours. Use it. Start now. Chapter 4. Stop waiting for permission and ask now. You've been waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to notice your effort, tap you on the shoulder, and tell you that you're ready. Waiting for a sign, for approval, for permission. But here's the truth. No one is coming to give it to you. Most people never get what they want because they wait too long. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until they feel qualified. They wait until someone tells them they're allowed. And while they wait, life keeps moving. Opportunities pass. Time moves forward. Meanwhile, people who are no more talented or prepared step up and ask. They ask even when they're unsure. They ask without being told it's okay. And they move ahead because of it. The need for permission is rooted in fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of judgment. Fear of being seen as pushy, demanding, or ungrateful. That fear creates hesitation. It convinces you that asking now would be rude, risky, or inappropriate. But that belief isn't protecting you. It's stopping you. It delays your growth, and the longer you delay, the more comfortable your mind becomes with not asking. Silence turns into a habit. Your mind starts to believe that playing small is safer. It tells you that waiting is wiser, but silence is not strength. Avoidance is not strategy. If you want something, you have to stop waiting and ask for it. Ask when you feel uncertain. Ask when it feels uncomfortable. Ask even when you're afraid. The worst that can happen is a no, and even a no gives you direction. It gives you feedback. It shows you where to adjust. Waiting gives you nothing. Waiting gives you doubt. Waiting gives you regret. Waiting gives you hesitation. You don't need a perfect moment to start. You don't need to feel completely ready. Growth rarely feels ready. People who move forward do so because they take initiative. They don't wait for validation. They don't sit around hoping someone will recognize their potential. They believe in their value and act on it. You have that same ability. It starts with understanding that no one will care about your goals as much as you do. That means the push has to come from you. There are people less skilled than you getting better results. Why? Because they ask. They act without waiting. They speak when others stay quiet. They move when others hesitate. That's how momentum is built. Momentum doesn't come from thinking. It comes from asking. It comes from doing. The moment you stop looking for permission is the moment your power returns. If you constantly ask yourself, "Am I allowed to do this?" you've already placed yourself below others. You've already handed your power away. Asking should come from clarity, not fear. From strength, not weakness. If you know what you want and it's honest and fair, ask for it. Don't over-explain. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't wait for everyone to understand. Ask. If it's not the right fit, you'll learn. But if it is, one question could change the direction of your entire life. From a young age, we're taught to follow rules, wait our turn, and stay quiet unless spoken to. That conditioning runs deep. So as adults, many people keep waiting for someone to say, "You're allowed to go after this now." But adulthood doesn't work that way. There's no permission slip, no authority figure handing out approval. You are the one who unlocks the next level of your life, and that unlock comes through bold action. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. Asking doesn't make you greedy. It doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you aware. You know your needs. You know your goals. You know what matters to you. That's clarity. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect words, you'll still be in the same place next year, wondering what could have been. You don't need approval for your next move. You need trust in yourself. You need to trust your judgment. You need to trust your instincts. If you believe in something, say it. If you want something, ask for it. Playing it safe your entire life doesn't lead to success. It leads to regret. And the cost of regret is always higher than the cost of rejection. Think about how many times you've seen someone less experienced get the opportunity you wanted. How many times you thought, "That should have been me." The truth is, it could have been. They stepped up. They didn't wait. They didn't overthink. They didn't talk themselves out of asking. They acted. You're not stuck because of your ability. You're stuck because of delay. The moment you stop waiting and start acting is the moment things begin to change. You don't need to feel brave. You don't need to feel perfect. You just need to move. You just need to say the words, "Is there an opportunity here for me? Can I be part of this? What's the next step?" These are simple sentences, but they open doors. There is no rule that says you must wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Walk toward the opportunity. Speak into it. Own it. Waiting is quiet. Quiet doesn't change your life. Speaking does. Asking does. Acting does. You are not wrong for wanting something. Wanting is not weakness. It's information. It tells you where your energy needs to go. Ask from truth, not from desperation. Truth has weight. Truth is steady. When you ask from truth, people listen. Even if the answer is no, you've taken control. You've said, "I'm not sitting back anymore." That's how you build a life of action instead of reaction. You can read every book, you can think for hours, but without action, nothing changes. The strongest moment in your life is the moment you stop waiting, when you stop looking for signs, when you stop checking if it's okay, and you ask directly. You don't need permission, you need courage. You don't need approval, you need belief. You don't need perfect timing, you need a decision. That's how life starts to shift in your favor. That's how you stop being overlooked. That's how you step into your future. Ask now, not tomorrow, not later, not someday. Ask today. Ask now. Because the longer you wait, the heavier it feels. And the more you act, the lighter your path becomes. Your next level is waiting, but it only opens for those who ask. Chapter 5. Learn how people think before you ask. Before you ask anyone for anything, help, support, time, money, or opportunity, you need to understand how they think. Because the way people respond to your request is shaped by what they care about, what they fear, what they value, and what they believe. Most people skip this step. They focus only on what they want. They think, "How do I get this person to say yes?" But that mindset is one-sided, and one-sided asking often leads to resistance or rejection. A smarter approach is to step out of your own perspective and into theirs. That's how you increase your chances. That's how you build trust. That's how you connect. Everyone experiences the world differently. Their background, their experiences, and their personal values shape how they respond. What feels reasonable to you may feel risky to someone else. What seems like a small request to you may feel like pressure to them. That doesn't make them wrong. It makes them human. If you want to get results when you ask, you must learn to recognize these differences. You need to slow down and observe before you speak. People are not as difficult to read as they seem. Once you start paying attention, listen to how they talk. Notice what they repeat. Watch how they react to problems. Some people are driven by logic. They want facts. They want structure. They want time to think. They don't like surprises. Others are driven by emotion. They want to feel understood. They value connection. They need trust before they agree to anything. Some people are sensitive to control. They resist being told what to do. If they feel pushed, they pull away. And some people simply want peace. They avoid conflict. They may say yes when they mean no, just to keep things calm. When you understand what motivates the person in front of you, you can shape your ask to match how they think. This is not manipulation, it's respect. It means you care enough to meet people where they are instead of forcing your way through. For example, if you're asking your manager for a raise and they care deeply about performance and numbers, don't talk only about how hard you've been trying. Show results. Bring data. Speak their language. If your manager values loyalty and teamwork, highlight how you've supported the team and contributed long-term. You still ask, but you do it in a way that aligns with what matters to them. That's psychology. That's intelligence. That's how you increase the likelihood of a yes. The same applies to personal relationships. If you're asking a partner for more time and they need space to process, don't corner them during an emotional moment. Give them room. Speak calmly. Be patient. But if your partner feels disconnected when you pull away, be more open. Reassure them. Let them know your ask is about growth, not criticism. Every ask should come from understanding, not assumption. Don't assume people see the world the way you do. Don't assume they understand your intentions. Don't assume they owe you anything. Before you ask, pause and ask yourself better questions. How does this person think? What do they care about? What might they be afraid of? What would help them feel safe saying yes? This mental preparation is what most people skip. They jump straight into the request without warming up the relationship, without understanding the mind they're speaking to. Then they wonder why the response feels cold or hesitant. When you take time to understand someone first, your words land differently. People can feel it. Even if they don't say it out loud, they know when you've made the effort to respect their perspective. That alone builds trust. And trust can turn a no into a maybe, and a maybe into a yes. You don't need to be a psychologist to do this. You just need to care. Listen closely. Watch how people make decisions. Notice what they avoid. Pay attention to their tone when they talk about pressure, success, risk, or failure. These details reveal how their mind works. Once you see those patterns, your ask becomes more precise. It becomes like a key designed for the lock in front of you. People are more open when they feel seen, not just heard, but seen. They want to know that you understand their situation, their timing, their current state of mind. Sometimes saying, "I know this may not be the best moment," already shows maturity. It shows thoughtfulness. It shows that you're not desperate, you're aware. And awareness earns respect. Don't rush the ask. Prepare for it. Think about who you're speaking to, what kind of day they might be having, what stress they may be under, what communication style they respond to best. Some people prefer details. Others want quick summaries. Some need reassurance. Others need space. The more you observe, the clearer and more effective your asking becomes. This is especially important when the ask is big, when it involves trust, money, time, or opportunity. In those moments, you must step into the other person's world before you speak. Not to pretend, not to manipulate, but to show that you've thought it through, that you respect their position, that you're asking like a leader, not taking like a taker. People naturally protect their time and energy. If your request feels careless, they'll pull away. If it feels one-sided, they'll resist. But if it feels balanced, if it shows awareness and consideration, they'll at least listen. And sometimes, being heard is all you need to move forward. You also need to accept that not everyone will say yes. Some people won't see what you see. Some will be too busy, too distracted, or too afraid. That's not your failure. When someone does say yes, it's not luck. It's preparation. It's awareness. It's respect. This approach earns more than answers. It builds reputation. It builds long-term relationships. So before you ask, slow down. Think beyond your own point of view. Ask yourself what matters to the other person. Ask yourself what emotional language they speak. Ask yourself how they make decisions. Then ask with confidence. Not confidence built on guessing, but confidence built on understanding. That's how strong people ask. That's how smart people move forward. That's how you take control of your direction, not through force, but through awareness. Chapter 6. Remove the fear of hearing the word no. Most people never ask for what they truly want because they are afraid of one simple word, no. That word carries weight. It feels like rejection. It brings back memories of moments when you felt small, ignored, or unimportant, and your mind remembers. So every time you think about asking for something, your brain pulls you back. It shows you old images. It reminds you of past failures. It brings up moments when someone dismissed you, overlooked you, or laughed at your request. That memory creates fear. Not fear of the word itself, but fear of the feeling that comes with it. And the more you avoid that feeling, the more power it gains over you. The truth is, the word no is not the real problem. What holds you back is what you believe no means. You hear no and think, I'm not good enough. You hear no and assume the door is closed forever. You hear no and decide you shouldn't have asked at all. But none of that is true. No does not mean you are a failure. It does not mean you were wrong to ask. And it does not mean you will never succeed. It simply means not this person, not this moment, or not this approach. When you start seeing no that way, its power begins to shrink. You have to train your mind to interpret no differently. Instead of seeing it as rejection, see it as direction. No gives you information. It helps you adjust. It helps you refine your approach. It shows you where to go next. Without no, you would keep moving blindly in the wrong direction. Every no teaches you something about timing, readiness, or strategy. But you can't gain that wisdom if you're too afraid to face it. The human brain is designed to avoid pain. Emotional pain, rejection, embarrassment, failure, registers just as strongly as physical pain. That's why the word no triggers such a strong reaction. It activates the same areas of the brain that light up when you're physically hurt. But here's the key. It's just a response. And responses can be rewired. You can train your brain not to panic. You can teach it to stay calm, to listen, to process a no without collapsing emotionally. The only way to remove the fear of no is exposure. You have to hear it enough times that it becomes normal. The more you face it, the less control it has over you. Not because it stops hurting entirely, but because it stops owning you. Think of it like a muscle. At first, it's weak, but every time you push through resistance, it grows stronger. Over time, you stop reacting emotionally. You start responding with clarity. You also need to question the belief that hearing no makes you less valuable. Where did that belief come from? Who taught you that being told no means you're not worthy? That belief didn't start with you. It was learned. Maybe you were criticized for asking as a child. Maybe someone made you feel like you were asking for too much. Maybe you were mocked when you tried to step forward. But those were moments, not definitions of who you are. It's time to rewrite the meaning of no. Instead of letting it trigger shame, let it activate strength. Tell yourself, this is one step closer to the yes that matters. That's how progress actually works. Every time you ask, you're doing something most people avoid. You're entering the game. You're moving forward instead of standing still. That alone has value, regardless of the answer. Most people who succeed have heard no more times than you can imagine. They've been rejected, ignored, and shut down repeatedly. But they didn't take it personally. They didn't use no as proof that they should stop. They used it as feedback. They adjusted. They refined. They tried again. That mindset, not luck or talent, is what separates them from everyone else. Think of no as a filter. It removes the wrong people, the wrong opportunities, the wrong paths. When someone tells you no, they're giving you information. They're saying, "This isn't for me." Good. That helps you redirect your energy. But when you let no break your spirit, you lose more than the opportunity. You lose momentum. And momentum is everything. Don't wait to feel fearless before you act. That moment may never come. The goal is not to eliminate fear, The goal is to stop obeying it. You can feel nervous and still ask. You can feel doubt and still move forward. That is real courage. Start practicing this every day. Ask for small things. Put yourself in situations where no is a possible answer. You'll be surprised how often people say yes. But more importantly, you'll learn that when they say no, the world doesn't end. You don't break. You don't fall apart. You adapt. You grow. You become clearer and more direct. Eventually, no stops feeling threatening. It becomes part of the process. If you never ask, you never know. If you never risk hearing no, you never give life a chance to say yes. And the pain of silence, the what if, lasts far longer than the discomfort of a temporary no. Don't let fear of one word hold back your entire life. You don't need to be perfect to ask. You don't need everything figured out. You just need to believe that you're allowed to ask, that your voice matters, and that no is not the end. No is a signal. No is feedback. No is often the doorway to the right yes. People who fear no too much tend to live small lives. They avoid risk. They avoid big moves. They wait for the perfect moment. That moment never comes. Years pass. Confidence fades. Dreams shrink. Not because those people lacked potential, but because they let fear control their decisions. You can change that. You can decide today that no is just a sound, not a sentence. It does not define you. It does not reduce your value. It does not close every door. Often, it's the first step toward the door you were meant to walk through. You are not weak for wanting something. You are not wrong for asking. You are not too much because someone couldn't meet your request. You are human. You are learning. You are growing. Take the risk. Ask clearly. Don't over-explain. Don't shrink your request to make it easier for others. Speak with strength. Accept the answer, and keep moving. Because hearing no doesn't make you lose. Giving up because of no does. Stand tall. Trust yourself. Ask again. Adjust. Continue. That's how progress is made. That's how resilience is built. That's how fear loses its grip. Practice asking until it feels normal. At first, asking feels uncomfortable. You hesitate, your voice tightens, your heart beats faster. Your mind starts creating stories about how the other person might react. You imagine they'll be annoyed, think you're selfish, or feel like you're bothering them. That fear doesn't come from nowhere. It's built from past experiences, moments when you asked and were shut down, ignored, or told you were asking for too much. Over time, those moments teach your brain that asking is unsafe, that silence is safer, that speaking up isn't worth the discomfort. So you avoid it. You find ways around asking. You hint. You hope people will notice. You wait for someone to understand without you having to say anything. But people can't read your mind. And when you don't ask, you miss opportunities. Not because you didn't deserve them, but because you didn't speak. The only way to break that fear is through practice. Asking is a skill, and like any skill, it feels awkward in the beginning. You might stumble over your words. You might feel anxious. You might regret speaking the moment the words leave your mouth. That doesn't mean you stop. It means you keep going. The goal isn't to feel confident before you start. The goal is to ask often enough that confidence appears because fear no longer has room to grow. Every time you ask, your brain learns something new. Nothing terrible happened. You survived. You can do it again. Even when the answer is no, you keep going. You adjust, you learn, you grow. The brain does not learn safety through thinking. It learns safety through experience. If you want to feel calm when you ask, you have to train your nervous system through repetition. Not once, not twice, but dozens of times. Small asks, big asks, awkward asks. Every time you do the thing your fear tells you to avoid, your brain updates its information. It stops sending danger signals every time you open your mouth to express a need. People who ask with ease are not fearless. They are practiced. They've asked enough times that fear no longer controls their behavior. They've built a new habit. It doesn't mean they always get a yes. It means they no longer freeze at the act of asking. And that changes everything. When asking becomes normal, it loses its power to stop you. It becomes part of who you are. Someone who doesn't wait. Someone who doesn't hold back. Someone who leads their own life. At the core of this process is self-respect. Every time you practice asking, you reinforce the belief that your needs are worth expressing. You're telling yourself, I don't need to hide. I don't need to stay silent to be accepted. I don't need to pretend I'm fine when I'm not. That honesty builds inner strength. And that strength shows in how you speak, how you walk, how you show up in every room. You don't have to start with big requests. Start small. Ask someone to clarify something in a meeting. Ask for feedback. Ask for help with a task. Ask for someone's opinion. These small asks aren't just about getting answers. They train your nervous system. They help your brain unlearn fear. With each ask, yes or no, you build another layer of comfort. What once made you tense begins to feel normal. Asking does not mean demanding. It doesn't mean being loud or aggressive. It means being direct and clear. It means accepting that you don't control the answer, but still believing the question is worth asking. That belief comes from repetition, from proof, and proof only comes from doing. One of the most damaging habits people have is overthinking their ask. They replay conversations in their head. They imagine worst-case reactions. They analyze every word until they convince themselves not to ask at all. That overthinking creates pressure. It feeds fear. It keeps you stuck. But when asking becomes a normal part of life, that pressure disappears. It stops feeling like a big event. It becomes part of everyday communication, like speaking, listening, or walking. You don't need special training to become someone who asks confidently. You need daily effort. You need repetition. You need to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable without retreating. You need to stop waiting for fear to go away and start walking straight through it. That's how you take your power back. The longer you avoid asking, the stronger fear becomes. The more you ask, the weaker fear gets. It's not about being fearless. It's about becoming familiar. Familiarity removes the unknown, and fear feeds on the unknown. When your mind knows what to expect, it stops treating the situation as a threat. As you practice asking, you also develop emotional balance. You stop tying your self-worth to other people's responses. You stop seeing rejection as personal. You begin to understand that people say no for many reasons, most of which have nothing to do with you. They might be busy. They might be overwhelmed. They might be unsure. That doesn't make your request wrong. It just means you asked a human being with their own thoughts and emotions. You become more emotionally free when you realize you don't need every yes. You just need to keep asking. Every ask is movement. Every ask is information. Every ask is growth. Even the asks that seem to go nowhere are shaping you. They strengthen your voice. They sharpen your clarity. They help you understand both yourself and others. When you avoid asking, you also avoid growth. You avoid learning. You avoid opportunity. And you end up living a smaller version of your life, not because you lacked ability, but because you stayed silent. Readiness doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. Asking becomes natural when you stop attaching fear to it. When you see it as communication, not confrontation. It's just a sentence, just a question, just a moment. Moments pass. What stays is the confidence you build every time you ask and survive. What stays is the habit that allows you to live fully. So keep practicing. Ask when it's easy. Ask when it's uncomfortable. Ask when your hands shake. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. And one day, the thing that once scared you will be something you do without thinking. That's when your life begins to expand. Because the world responds to people who ask clearly, directly, and without fear. You have a voice. Use it. You have needs. Speak them. You have goals. Go after them by asking. Practice until asking feels as natural as breathing. That's how you stop living in hesitation and start living in truth. That's how you create a life shaped by action, not fear. Chapter 8. Say exactly what you want without confusion. Most people don't get what they want because they don't clearly say what they want. They speak around the point. They drop hints. They soften their words. They avoid being direct. And then they feel frustrated when no one understands them. But people can't meet your needs if they don't know what those needs are. Life moves forward when you learn to communicate with clarity, not just to speak, but to say exactly what you want without confusion, without hiding, and without fear. The human mind is wired to avoid discomfort. When you're about to ask for something important, your thoughts start racing. You wonder how it will sound, how it will be received, how the other person might react. So instead of being clear, you try to soften the message. You add extra words. You explain too much. You try to sound polite or less demanding. But in doing that, you dilute your message. And when a message is unclear, people don't act. Not because they don't care, but because they don't understand what you're really asking for. Clarity is not rude. Clarity is respectful. It respects your time and the other person's time. When you're clear, people don't have to guess. They don't have to interpret. They don't have to decode your meaning. That reduces stress. It removes confusion. It builds trust. People trust those who speak directly because directness signals honesty. It shows that you're not hiding, not testing, not playing games. You're simply being real. But clarity requires self-honesty first. You can't clearly say what you want until you've decided what you want. That's where many people get stuck. They don't slow down long enough to identify their real need. They react emotionally. They speak from frustration. And frustration creates vagueness. Clarity comes from preparation, not pressure. You need to ask yourself simple questions. What do I actually want right now? What outcome am I looking for? What do I need from this person or situation? Once you know the answer, Say it in simple words, not emotional words, not dramatic words, clear words. That's how adults communicate. That's how progress happens. For example, instead of saying, "I feel like no one supports me," say, "I'd like you to be there with me at the meeting." That's specific. That's actionable. Instead of saying, "I've been working really hard lately," say, "I'd like to talk about a raise." That's clear. Instead of saying, "Things feel overwhelming," say, "I need some time alone this weekend." Simple language cuts through noise. Simple is powerful. Many people avoid clarity because they fear sounding aggressive. But there's a difference between aggression and assertiveness. Aggression ignores the other person's feelings. Assertiveness respects both sides while still speaking the truth. Assertive communication is calm, honest, and direct. It's not loud. It's not emotional, and people respond well to it. Your mind may try to delay clarity. It may tell you to wait, to phrase it better, to find the perfect moment. That's fear. Fear always creates confusion. If you want to rise above fear, choose clarity over comfort. Value progress more than protecting your ego. Progress always starts with a clear ask. When you communicate clearly, you take responsibility for your life. You stop blaming others for not reading your mind. You stop feeling disappointed by outcomes you never clearly asked for. That shift is maturity. Confusion leads to misunderstanding. Misunderstanding leads to resentment. And resentment destroys relationships, at work, at home, and in friendships. Most conflict doesn't come from lack of care. It comes from lack of clarity. Two people can care deeply about each other and still drift apart if they continue misunderstanding one another. Don't let that happen because you were afraid to be clear. Choose clarity even when it feels uncomfortable. If someone reacts negatively to your clarity, that tells you something important. Real relationships can handle honest communication. If someone walks away because you spoke clearly, the relationship was not built on truth. Truth doesn't push the right people away. It filters out the wrong ones. Clarity must also exist in your relationship with yourself. Don't lie to your own mind. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. Don't ignore what's bothering you just to avoid discomfort. Internal avoidance creates internal confusion. And internal confusion makes external clarity impossible. That's why reflection matters. That's why you need quiet moments to think, process, and decide. Practice speaking your truth out loud, in the mirror, with a trusted person, in short, solid sentences. You don't need perfect words. You need honest ones. Most people aren't used to hearing this level of directness. When you communicate this way, you stand out. People notice. They may not always agree, but they listen. Listening is the first step to influence. If people don't understand you, they can't support you. If they don't know what you want, they won't move toward it. Make it easy for people to hear you. That's what clarity does. You don't need to rush. You don't need to over-explain. Say what needs to be said, then stop. Let silence create space for a response. Most conflict doesn't come from the request itself. It comes from the buildup, the guessing, the tension, the unclear signals. Clear words remove that noise. If you want change in your life, you must change the way you communicate. No more vague statements. No more softened messages. No more hiding behind politeness. Say what you mean. Say what you want. Say it in a way that respects both you and the person you're speaking to. This is not about control. This is about freedom. When you can ask clearly, without fear and without confusion, you stop carrying everything inside. You stop waiting for others to guess. You stop feeling trapped by miscommunication. You become someone who moves forward, focused, grounded, and strong. And that is how you begin building the life you actually want. Not with noise, not with guessing, with clarity, with courage, with honest, direct human truth. Chapter 9. Notice who respects your ask and who doesn't. When you learn to ask clearly, the next step is learning to observe how people respond. Not everyone will respect your ask. Not everyone will take your words seriously. Some people will ignore it. Some will avoid it. Some will agree on the surface, but act as if they're doing you a favor you didn't earn. These reactions matter because they reveal how people truly value your voice. Respect is not about always hearing yes. It's about how your ask is received. When someone respects you, they listen. They may not agree. They may not be able to give you what you want, but they acknowledge your request and treat it with care. They respond honestly. They don't shame you. They don't make you feel small for having needs. They give you a clear answer. They explain their side, and they recognize the courage it took for you to speak up. That is an environment where growth is possible. But when someone consistently dismisses your needs, avoids your requests, or makes you feel guilty for speaking, that's not respect. That's control. In human psychology, respect shows up most clearly when you set boundaries or ask for something important. It's not about the outcome. It's about the quality of the response. Pay close attention to the people around you. How do they react when you're clear? Do they listen? Do they follow through? Do they acknowledge what you said? Or do they change the subject, minimize your words, or act like you're asking for too much? Those reactions tell you exactly how they see your place in the room. You can't control how people respond, but you can control what you allow. If someone repeatedly shows you that your needs don't matter to them, you need to take that seriously. Don't explain it away. Don't keep making excuses for their behavior. Human behavior is consistent. One moment of distraction is normal. A pattern of dismissal is a message. And that message says, I don't value your voice. If you keep accepting that message, your own mind will eventually believe it. Some people resist your ask because they're used to you staying silent. When you finally speak up, it disrupts the dynamic. Your clarity removes their comfort. It challenges their control. They may respond with defensiveness. They may accuse you of being demanding or difficult. They may try to make you feel guilty for changing. But that reaction is not proof that you're wrong. It's proof that the balance has shifted. Your growth will make certain people uncomfortable. That's unavoidable. Your responsibility is not to stay small so others can stay comfortable. Your responsibility is to be honest with yourself and speak from that place. If someone can't handle that, they are not meant to walk with you into your future. Healthy relationships, at work, at home, and in friendships, make space for your voice. Even when the answer is no, the response is respectful. You hear things like, I hear you. Let me think about it. I can't do that right now, but I understand why you're asking. Those responses signal openness. They show that you're being taken seriously. But when the response is avoidance, ridicule, silence, or emotional punishment, that environment is not safe for growth. That environment trains you to shrink, and shrinking over time turns into resentment. Protecting your voice doesn't require anger. It requires awareness. Notice who leans in when you speak. Notice who follows through. Notice who listens without judgment. These people are rare, and they matter. At the same time, notice who laughs at your ask, who ignores it, who uses your honesty against you later. You don't need to confront everyone. You don't need to argue. Just take note. Strong people don't beg to be heard. They don't keep repeating themselves to those who refuse to listen. They don't waste clarity on people committed to misunderstanding them. Instead, they adjust their environment. They redirect their energy. They move toward spaces where their voice carries weight. That's not ego. That's self-respect. It's easy to believe that being liked is more important than being respected. But that belief will cost you your voice. You can be liked and still be invisible. You can be polite and still be dismissed. Real peace comes from being heard, not just tolerated. Sometimes the hardest part is letting go of people who once supported you but resist your growth. That hurts. It may bring guilt, but guilt is not a reason to stay small. You can be kind and still be clear. You can care about others and still protect your voice. People who truly value you will never ask you to choose between silence and connection. They will make room for your truth. If you've spent years holding your words inside, this awareness may feel uncomfortable at first. You may doubt yourself. That's normal. But keep observing, keep listening, keep noticing patterns. Notice who respects your ask. Notice who dismisses it. This isn't about keeping score. It's about protecting your energy and your future. Your ask reflects your self-awareness. If someone can't respect that, they're not rejecting your request, they're rejecting your growth. And that rejection is information. It shows you where not to invest your time anymore. You are not difficult for having needs. You are not demanding for being clear. You are not wrong for expecting to be treated with care. You are someone choosing intention over guessing. Someone choosing clarity over confusion. That's how progress begins. Pay attention to how people respond when you speak your truth. Their reaction tells you everything about how they value your presence. If they lean in, nurture that connection. If they pull away or punish your honesty, respect yourself enough to pull your energy back. That's not cold, that's wise. And wisdom is what turns your voice into real power. Chapter 10. Ask often and take action every single time. Most people ask once and then stop. They wait. They overthink. They hope someone will notice. But the truth is, asking once is rarely enough. If you want real change, you need to ask often and take action every single time. This is not about pushing people or being aggressive. It's about building a new way of living, one where your goals are no longer delayed by hesitation. Asking often trains your mind to stop fearing rejection. Taking action trains your body to stop freezing when it's time to move. When these two habits come together, momentum is created. The human brain is wired for comfort. When something feels unfamiliar, the mind labels it as a threat. That's why most people don't ask consistently. It's not because they don't want more, it's because their brain is trying to protect them from discomfort. But safety and growth don't exist in the same place. Growth requires movement. It requires repetition. The only way to make asking feel natural is to do it again and again until your brain stops treating it like danger. Every time you ask, Regardless of the outcome, you teach your mind something new. I survived. I can do this again. If you ask only once in a while, your brain continues to believe asking is risky. But when asking becomes routine, fear loses its grip. Confidence doesn't come from permission. It comes from repetition. But asking alone is not the goal. Asking opens the door. What matters most is what you do after. Some people get stuck asking without acting. They collect opinions. They gather advice. They plan endlessly, but they never move. That creates mental exhaustion. Action breaks that cycle. Action clears confusion. Action builds clarity. Action creates momentum. When you follow up on your ask, when you show up, adjust, and try again, you send a powerful message to your mind. We are moving. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need complete certainty. You need movement. Small actions count. One message, one conversation, one follow-up, one attempt. Asking often creates more opportunities. Each request opens a door, even if it doesn't lead where you expected. You learn what works. You learn what doesn't. That feedback sharpens your judgment. It improves your next ask. People who grow quickly are not always the most talented. They're the most active. They don't treat opportunities as fragile. They knock. They follow up. They stay in motion. That's how momentum is built, not through luck, but through repeated action. One common mistake is waiting to ask only when you feel strong. But people who succeed ask even when they feel tired, uncertain, or discouraged. They don't tie their self-worth to outcomes. They stay in the process. This process builds a life of results, not because everything works immediately, but because movement never stops. When asking and acting become habits, you stop reacting to life. You start creating it. You initiate conversations. You open doors. You follow through with intention. And when something doesn't work, you don't retreat. You ask again. You adjust. You move. This is how self-trust is built, through consistency, effort, and motion. The more you ask, the clearer you become. The more you act, the stronger you feel. Other people's reactions stop controlling your pace. You stay focused on growth, not approval. Life moves forward with every question you ask and every step you take after. You can think endlessly and remain stuck. Or you can ask, act, adjust, and learn by doing. Learning through action builds real confidence, the kind that doesn't depend on praise or reassurance. You don't need approval to move. You don't need applause to ask. You need a decision. A decision to stop putting your future on hold. A decision to stop letting fear lead. A decision to ask often and act every time. Even small steps matter. Over time, they compound. They build habits. They create results. Living this way changes how people see you, not because you're perfect, but because you're consistent. You don't wait for change. You create it. You don't stay silent. You speak. You don't freeze. You move. This discipline becomes part of who you are. You stop fearing failure because you trust your ability to try again. You stop feeling powerless because you've trained yourself to ask and act. That is real strength. That is maturity. That is how you build a life that reflects your potential. Ask when it's quiet. Ask when it's loud. Ask when you're tired. Ask when you're scared. But don't stop at the ask. Take the next step. Follow through. Adjust. Continue. Over time, this becomes natural. And when it does, power follows. Not just in what you achieve, but in who you become. Keep asking, keep acting, keep growing. This is how you take control of your future. One clear ask, one strong action, one day at a time.